there. My name's Jackie. I'm a Living Well instructor here at Lakeview Village. And since we can't come to you, or you can't come to us, we're coming to you. So today I have a little segment put together that's going to offer you a warm-up, a little bit of strength training, and then some coordination, a little bit of balance work, and we'll finish with the stretch. So here's what you're going to need for today's session. You need a chair, sturdy chair. It can have arms or no arms, up to you. You need a little workspace at a wall or the back of a door that does not move that you can do some wall push-ups. You also might want a set of weights if you have them, or you can also use canned goods or a bottle of water. Just anything that you can get a good grip on that's going to give you a little bit of strength work, right, as we go through the exercises. So, with all that said, let's get your warm-up started. I'm going to show options during this workout, so hopefully they accommodate everyone of many levels of ability. So if you're seated and you prefer to stay seated, you're going to start here with a little march, all right? And anytime you're in a seated position, if you come out away from the back of the chair, you're going to be working your core as long as you're in that nice upright position. You could also be doing this standing, so marching right behind your chair. Maybe a light touch on the chair, maybe arm swings. Whatever your level is, you work at that level, right? All right. So let's just change this up a little bit. Let's do a side tap. So we tap out to the side. So you can see my feet under the chair there, right? I wore white shoes today just for you so you can see my feet. All right, so we've still got this great tall posture. We're looking straight ahead. We're not looking at our feet. Or we're in that seated position doing that little side tap right here. Let's tap it on back. So tap behind. So what we should be feeling here is a little weight shift from side to side. You work at your speed. Maybe you're a fast tapper, maybe you're not. Maybe you need the chair. All right, still working that good tall posture, light toe taps back there. Okay, let's go to the next move. It's going to be a cross punch and twist. So you can add a little side tap out there if you want. Add a little rotation. We like rotation around the spine. It keeps us injury free, keeps us flexible. So you decide how far you want to throw that punch out there and how far you want to twist. Everybody's a little different. You work to your level. Now let's take those punches up a little higher. Whatever your range is. Can be up high. If it bothers the shoulder, guess what? You just bring it down a little lower. We still got that side tap going if you want, or you can stay stationary and just concentrate on letting those shoulders turn. If you're in the chair, same thing. You decide how high. You decide how big of a twist. You should feel kind of warmed up at this point. Do some shoulder circles, standing or seated. I'm going to stay up here for the standing folks. All right, I'm going to turn my chair sideways so you can see this. Standing hamstring stretch. You're just going to step back. You're going to hinge at the hip. So we want this nice straight back. We want to push back through the hips. Get this stretch down through the low back and the hamstrings. If you're seated, you're going to take the leg out and get a stretch here, nice and easy. And then switch to the other side. If you're standing, keep holding that hamstring stretch. Breathe while you're stretching. You don't want to hold your breath. Your eyes will pop out. Just kidding, they won't. But it won't feel good. All right, if If you're standing, come on around and have a seat. If you're seated, you're already there. Let's grab your weights. We're gonna start with the little shoulder work. So I want you to first roll the shoulders back and down and keep them right there. That's gonna help pull you back in that nice tall posture. You're not seated back against the back of your chair unless you want it, all right? So you're out away from your chair. Palms face me. You're just gonna lift up and down. All right, so what I want you to notice is that your palms are facing me or the TV, all right? And you're only coming up about a quarter of the way. This is to kind of help us keep those shoulders pulled back and down, right? Instead of this rounding forward, that little turn of the hand is what's helping pull those shoulders back. So we're up nice and tall. We're gonna do about 12 to 15 repetitions. So when I talk you through these exercises, I just want you to keep working. What do you feel? Do you feel this working up in the shoulders? Do you feel your chest opening up? And do you feel your core working? All those abdominal and back muscles to hold you upright. All right, shoulder raise, done. Now let's get some wall push-ups in. So you're gonna find a door or a wall. Set yourself up. Hands are about shoulder width apart. And you're just gonna do a push-up here, all right? Now, you can see my feet under the chair there. The closer my feet are to the wall, the easier the push-up is. If I move my feet farther away from the wall, the harder the push-up is, and your heels, they don't need to be down on the floor. You're gonna pull your belly button in towards your spine as you're doing these push-ups because you want your core engaged. You want your back nice and straight. So if you feel anything in the low back, you need to move in a little bit and you need to engage your core, right? If you feel something in your shoulders, instead of the arms being out wider, you're gonna pull them in here. Bring them in closer, and it turns into a tricep push-up, all right? So you should be working this whole time, right? Are you? Are you working? I've really missed seeing all you guys in class. All right, that should do it for the push-ups. So let's come back to your chair. So come around and have a seat. Now we're gonna work the lower body. Sit to stands or squats. So here's what I want you to notice about the squat or the sit to stand. If you're doing the full sit to stand, it's a little bit harder, and I encourage you to try that because it's a functional move that we all need to be able to do. Option 1, you use the chair or the armrest, if you have it, to push off of and come up and come back down, right? If you're okay with that, or that's easy, the hands can come to the thighs, up and down. If you're okay with that, cross the arms over, up and down, all right? Okay, so let's get ready to go. Pick your position, do a test one, see where you're at, and let's squat up and down. Here we go. Take it up. Now if you're like, Jackie, I can't do that, maybe you stay here. Maybe you don't sit all the way down, right? You're just here. Things to remember. We want to keep the hips, the knees, the toes all lined up. None of this stuff, because that's not working the right muscles, right? We want to keep those all lined up. Sit down and stand up. Squat or sit to stand. This is a great exercise for you to do every day. But do it safely and do it with the right equipment. Maybe you need a chair with arms. All right, let's get a couple more. That should have really got your legs warmed up and your heart rate up a little bit too, right? Okay, let's move on to rows. So now we're gonna work the back a little bit. I'm gonna turn sideways for this one so you can see what's going on. You've got your weights. You're gonna lean forward a little bit. Notice my back. It's long and straight, right? It's not all rounded. Long and straight. I reach down and pull up. So every time I pull up, elbows brush the side. I pull those shoulder blades in towards each other. Right? direction on this one, right? Like I said, I've never made an exercise video before, so we're just kind of doing this on the fly. All right, so we want to squeeze those shoulder blades in, working those big back muscles. Let's get a couple more. All right, and then come up. Nice. Okay, I'm going to turn the chair back around to show you this. It's called the leg extension. So we're going to work these big quadricep muscles up here on the top part of our leg. This one, you can be scooted all the way back in your chair. You can use a weight if you want. Option 1 is no weight. Leg lifted. The kicks. Woo! My foot looks big on that video. All right, so we're working this big muscle up here. You want to make it harder? You add the weight. The farther out the weight is towards your knee, the harder it is. All right? Side view. You can probably see this better. So you're back against the back of your chair, leg lifted, out and in. Harder, easier, easier, right? You can always, so don't let the knee sink down. You see how it's sinking down now? I want it up here. Feel those muscles working. You can always move away from the back of your chair if you can keep that posture in check. If you're slumped over, move back and use the back of the chair and concentrate on these leg muscles. Whew, you feeling that up here in your quads? Have you got both sides yet? Because this leg on me, it's getting tired. All right, let's get a couple more. Okay, now's a good time to take a little water break. So even though we are less active and it's cool, we have to keep that water going in. We want to stay hydrated. That hydration helps all of our body functions, helps our brain, and helps our medications if we're taking any of those. Helps our body process and use that medication more effectively. So make sure you're staying hydrated during this time where we're kind of isolating ourselves. All right, now the second half of class, I'm going to show things seated and standing so you can kind of take the option and do with it what you want. Don't be a daredevil. We don't need accidents happening, but I want you to challenge yourself as best and as safe as you can. So I'll show the exercise seated first, and then I'll show it standing. We're going to start with one weight. Put it in your right hand. We're going to do a bicep curl, and we're going to tap the left foot forward and back, all right? So you decide how big. This arm is kind of tucked in by my side. All right, now that I've got you started seated, the standing option is this. You're going to stand beside your chair. You're going to curl, step forward, step back, up and back. So you've got the chair if you need it. Don't let your foot get tangled up in the chair. You've got your good tall posture in check. You can hold on if you need it, or maybe you don't, right? All right, let's get a few more here. Then we're going to switch over to the other side. So I want you to move over to the other side of your chair because you got to have a free hand to hold on if you need it. You're going to curl forward, step forward, and back. So this is some of that balance and coordination training right here. Sometimes these exercises look easy, but they're not so easy sometimes to get coordinated. Like check in. Do you have this nice tall posture? Are you working the opposite leg from the arm that you're working? Do you have your weight shifted over here onto this leg with your knees slightly bent a little bit? Right? That's what we're trying to do. All right. Let's get a couple more. You know that's always my standard answer, a couple more. All right. We're going to switch it up. I'm going to show this a couple of different ways because I think it's kind of hard for you to see. You're going to switch the weight back over to the right hand. I'm going to take my left leg out and my right arm over here to the side. So, this way. You can't see my arm, I'll show you this way too. Out. here to the side. My right arm's lifting out here to the side. Got the chair if I need it. So take a peek down. Toes are pointed straight ahead. You know that's a pet peeve of mine because I want you working those correct muscles out there on that outer thigh. If your toes pointed up to the ceiling, you're engaging your quadriceps. Wrong muscles, don't need it. Want those outer thigh muscles kicking in. We got the palm facing towards the TV or towards me. And you're lifting up just part way. All right, let's switch and get the other side. So switch the weight over, shift the weight over, and do that side raise, side leg lift. Check in. That toe will creep. Don't let it. Keep it straight ahead. And we got to check in. Is our posture on target? Are we tall? Do we have our weight shifted over to this side? Are we still moving the arm? I forgot, right? Did you see that? It's hard to get all that coordinated and working together. Good job, looks good. All right, let's get one more. We're gonna set that down. Now we're gonna do some calf raises. I'm gonna show you a side view because I think you can see it better. So I want you to make sure you can see my feet. I've got the chair to hold on to. I'm gonna raise the heels up and down. So I'm trying to work these calf muscles down here and the lower part of my leg. It's just heels up. Just heels up, reset. Right? Should be looking straight ahead. Ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Lifting up as high as you can. Light touch on the chair if you can get there. I like a light touch because I think you can lift up higher than if you try to let go. Because we're talking about standing on your toes, and that's a really hard thing to do balance-wise, so I prefer that you have a light touch or a firm grip on the chair to give these calf muscles some good working, right? All right, that's probably 20 or so. I overdid it on that. Next up, wood chops. So this exercise works everything. I'm going to show it seated first, and then I'm going to show it standing. So you can do this one weighted or not, all right? You're going to take your weight, hold on to it like this if you're seated. You're going to reach down towards the shoelaces and then up and over. So I'm reaching towards my left foot, going up and over, right diagonal. Down and up, all right? This is a wood chop from the left to the right, okay? That's seated. Here's standing. Wood chop, left to right. Okay, you could do it that way. Option, you could just come up here if it bothers the shoulder. You only work through the range that you can. You don't force the range. Okay, when I bend down, I'm using my legs. Head is above the heart, right? You see that? It's not this. Head below the heart. Woo, dizzy, right? So, stay nice and tall. You've got your chair if you need it for a little balance. You don't have to go all the way to the floor. Remember? Full range, part range, even smaller range. You pick. Now we gotta switch sides. Let's get the other side. So step forward, you got your chair if you need it. Do the first one, kind of test the waters, right? So now we're right foot, either a half a pull or up and over. Right foot to a left diagonal. Head above the heart, use that leg power. Knees, they should be behind the toes. All right. You should be pretty warmed up, right? You should be feeling like you did a workout. That's what this is. Options, remember you can always get rid of the weight anytime you want. You can always take a seat anytime you want. Here to here, or here to here. All right, set your weights down. Whew. Let's get a little stretch in. So I'm going to turn sideways for this so you can see. So let's take one leg out. Knee straight. So you might need to come forward on your chair. Keep your back straight, just lean forward. Reach for the toes. So we want to ease into the stretch, breathe, and get that nice little stretch there through the back of the leg, up through the calf, behind the knee, the hamstring, maybe even the back, wherever you're tight. And breathe. All right, let's come up, switch to the other side. So leg out straight as you can get it, whatever that is for you. Reach down towards the toes. So I only reach down to where I feel the stretch. I'm not trying to force the stretch or get to my toe by bobbing up and down. It's just a gentle glide. This is where I feel it, so this is where I stop, all right? Maybe as I relax and breathe, I can go a little farther. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just working on keeping this right here. All right, then come back up. I'm going to turn around and face you again. So sit up nice and tall. You're out away from the back of your chair. Let's just take a turn. So your legs stay right where they are. Feet stay grounded. Turn your upper body and look back behind you. And then let's go the other way. So get turned, lift that chest up, look back behind you. Feel that stretch. Feel the rib cage open up. Might even have a little stretch in your neck because you're trying to look back behind you. All right, come back to the center. You might want to scoot back in your chair a little bit. So you're going to reach for the leg of the chair. See the leg of the chair? Hold on there or down for the floor. We bring the opposite arm up. We look up towards the ceiling. You hold that stretch and you breathe. All right, so you decide where this arm goes. Maybe your shoulder doesn't like that, so you gotta lower it or bring it out in front of you. Wherever you're at, you're opening up this space over here in the ribs. So come up, kind of let the bubble reset, I like to say, and then we're gonna get the other side. So options, you grab the leg of the chair. If you can't reach the floor or you don't feel safe with that, grab the leg. Reach the arm up, look up towards the ceiling. Everybody looks different on these stretches because we all have different levels of flexibility. So we're just trying to open up the side here. All right, then come up. Let's take your right arm, pat yourself on the back. So if this bothers the shoulder, again, you don't force it because we're not forcing any stretches. You reach across. As we move into each stretch, you just want to keep breathing normally. And let's get the other side. So we want to feel that stretch through the shoulder and through the back of our arm. And release that. Kind of scoot back in your chair all the way. Just turn your head to the right. So look over to the right. Come back to the middle. And then look over to your left. Come back to the middle. Do that again. Look to the right, and the middle, and left, and middle. All right, let's get your foot. So, foot up, ankle circles. So we're just making a circle the best we can with the big toe. And then go the other way. So you'll notice that one foot stops, switching at the other one. It's more coordinated than the other foot. Who knew, right? And then stop and put it in reverse. When we go in reverse, there's usually a side that doesn't like reverse at all. It doesn't look like a circle at all. But we just keep working on it, trying to get that rotation as best we can through the ankle. That helps us with all of our daily walking activities. All right, then scoot up in your chair and give yourself a big hug and a pat in the back. And just know we all miss you out there, and we're hoping we get back to normal pretty soon. But between now and then, give me a call at the office, 913-744-2422. If you have some great exercise ideas, we're going to try to do some of this a little more often just to give you more variety. So I hope you liked it today. Stay well, stay healthy, and we'll we'll see you shortly. Bye-bye.